You guys know how I do it. I do this live daily check-in daily around 12. Time is not important, right? But today is a nooner, okay? So it's around noon. I normally would do these around 12 o'clock, but I've been kind of getting off track. But the important thing is that I'm consistent and I do them. They may not always be at noon, but I do them. So hope you guys are well. Hope you had a great weekend. It's October now. Can you believe that? And this morning woke up and it was like in the 50s. I'm here in LA, right? So it was in the 50s this morning. But from what they say, it's supposed to, I guess, get a little warmer towards the end of the week, is what they say. I don't know, but I'm welcoming the cooler weather. That kind of fall weather. Getting close to like Halloween when it's getting kind of cold and or cooler and crisp. As crisp as Southern California can be. But I hope you guys are doing well. I'm just rambling. I'm just grasping at things to say. But let me turn on my chat. You guys can make comments. This is live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn, like it is every time that I do this. I do them every day, Monday through Friday. I always have an agenda, right? In fact, today is part 2 of what I talked about on Friday, and it had to do with, relationships with CVBs, hotels and CVBs, like what hotels should expect from a CVB, or basically what they should expect, or what, or how to get the most out of that CVB. And these are just, you don't have to do it. I'm not saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, and do it this way. It's not about that. It's just about people need to know how CVBs work with hotels or work with destinations, because a lot of people don't know. Even people within hotels don't know, okay, how it's supposed to work or how it normally works, right? So my job is to just educate people, be a resource for people, and to plan meetings like I do for my clients. I do hotel site selection, just in case you did not know. In fact, I just had a meeting over the weekend. Yeah, we do that. Yeah, they do meetings on the weekends too. Had a meeting that went from just Friday through yesterday, right? And it's at the Belmar Hotel, as you can see, the Belmar Hotel. So what I do is I do hotel site selection, but I'm a brand show off, right? So why not show off the brand if you've selected that hotel to be, the site for the meeting for my client? Well, the client selected it, but I showed the hotel, right? And based on what the hotel is able to give, based on rates, based on who's there, right? I mean, if I had a relationship with someone currently, I will let my client know that. So, and that's pretty much why we selected, or why they selected that hotel. My job is just to bring the best hotels that I think for their group, based on location, based on a vibe, right? Because this particular group had a different kind of, they do a different kind of thing, right? It's an educational thing, but they do it a little different. So you got to look for the vibe. You got to know your clients, right? Because every hotel doesn't fit every client. But this one did, right? And they're the big fish in the small pond. So 127 rooms. In fact, let me put my glasses on. I always want to share the vitals with the hotels. What is a vital, Russell? What are you talking? Just bringing out stuff, you're just pulling stuff out of everywhere. The vital signs for a hotel. How many rooms? 127 guest rooms. How many meeting rooms? 6 meeting rooms. This is one of 6. And then how much total square footage? Because everybody wants to know that, right? Especially if you're doing site selection or planning meetings. Like, how much space do they have in square footage? Well, it's 4,454 square feet, a meeting space, or meeting or event space. And I'll show at least 2, maybe 3 spaces that they utilize, that my group happened to utilize, as well as a guest room. So, but yeah, they basically took over the hotel, and that's what a lot of groups like. The smaller groups want smaller hotels, smaller properties, because they want to be the big fish, right, in the small pond. They don't want to just be a small fish in a large pond, because then people forget about them. But at a hotel like this, the Belmar, which is 127 rooms, they can be the big fish, especially if you have 5 out of the 6 meeting rooms, and well, you're just taking over everything, right? So anyway, there you go. So what is my agenda? Like I said, I always have an agenda, and this is the pickup from last week. So real quick, and these don't take long, so just be patient with me. And like I said, you can always make comments. You can say, hey, you can say hi, you can say, hey, this is me, Russell, what's going on? Hey, I know you from XYZ, whatever. and I'll make sure I address it and put it on the screen in real time because this is live. Just in case you did not know, this is live, right? I mean, I can't stop and say, hey, you know what, take two. Wait a minute, cut, take two. No, this is live. So whatever I say, whatever I do, if I make mistakes, you know what, you're gonna see them. Okay, you're gonna see them. That's just it, right? But that's okay. But that's being vulnerable. That's like open yourself up. That's like putting yourself in a potentially uncomfortable situation or position. But that's okay, right? It's okay because it's all about education. It's all about educating people on how hotel sales departments utilize CVBs. Okay, this is part two. So before I get into today's the part two, let me go over part one. I just want to give you the first, I believe the first six. Okay, so once again, the title of the topic today, or from last Friday, was how hotel sales departments utilize CVBs. A CVB is a Convention and Visitors Bureau. Okay, networking and relationship building. That's one. Marketing or market research and intelligence. That was number two. Collaborative marketing. I can't even read. Collaborative marketing, group sales assistant, destination fam tours. Oh, I love fam tours, don't you? Information exchange. Okay, so that was the first six. Now we're moving to number seven. And you can see that's one of the meeting spaces that they had, that my group had. It was for I think they were set up for 50 people each, something like that, theater style, and a couple other ones had rounds of 5, rounds of 10, or whatever. So this was the actual space that my group used. And remember, CVBs and hotels, it's a partnership, right? Even with the people like me who are meeting planners or hotel site selection, it's all partnerships, right? You always want to book with your partner or someone that you have become familiar with, or maybe in some situations you've been friends with. They've been past colleagues or whatever. So it's all about that partnership. It's all about creating that synergy, that energy, that kind of thing, because we're all there to win, right? We're all there to get business for either the destination or for our hotel. And sometimes a lot easier if we partner with someone else to get the business in for us, right? If that's a CVB, then that's fine. And if it's the opposite way, if it's the hotel, let your CVB partner know that, hey, I booked this, whatever, it's self-contained, but let them know that you booked it, right? Because they want to put it on their, in their books as well. They want a reference of it as well. So I never not did that. When I was at a hotel on the hotel property level, whoever was assigned my particular hotel, CVB partner, I made sure they knew if I had groups that were coming in that were self-contained, meaning we didn't need the convention center. It wasn't part of a citywide convention or something like that. I'll let them know, hey, we're about to book this, blah, 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 blah. Because guess what? I want them to get credit for it. Boom. That's it. So it's all about creating a partnership. So however you need to do that, you need to do it. Okay. But it's all about the partnership. It's all about, working together. And that's what it is. So, okay. So from there, let's move on to number seven. So this is the courtyard out there at the Bellamar Hotel, which is located in Manhattan Beach, right there on Sepulveda and Rosecrans, right on the corner of that. And not too far from, they built a new Top Golf out there. Are you guys familiar with Top Golf? There's a Top Golf that's in El Segundo, and basically it's less than, I would say it's probably a quarter mile. I'm gonna say it's about a quarter of a mile from this hotel. So if you know where the new Top Golf is in El Segundo, it's just south of there, right on the same street, Sepulveda, right on the same street. So just giving people a little reference, and that's south of LAX, which is the airport. So it's within 5-10 minutes of the terminals at LAX. So there you go. Okay, so number seven, convention housing services. What is that, man? Convention housing services. If your hotel is designated as an official convention hotel, which normally that's the largest hotel within that destination, like a downtown location or whatever, it's normally the largest hotel. Work closely with the CVB to manage housing blocks and reservations efficiently. ensure that attendees can easily book rooms through the CVB's housing services. Yeah. So if it's a large convention that's going on, normally the CVB will have a housing services or housing bureau where everyone makes the reservations through, or they're in charge of doing that, because it's hard for the hotels to do all these things. So the housing bureau will fill up one hotel first. If that's the host hotel, the largest one, they'll fill it up with, whatever attendees, and then they move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. So whoever's involved in the block. Okay. So it's important, that, yeah. So if you're, convention housing services, it's important that the CVB handles that and you work in conjunction with them. Okay. So that's a good thing. This is not a bad thing. This is all good. Number 8, feedback and collaboration. Maintain an open line of communication with the CVB. That's important. You have to, it's your partner, right? Why wouldn't you open up a line of communication or keep that line of communication open? Provide feedback on the experience of the convention attendees and any areas where improvements can be made. Yeah, you always get feedback, right? Hotels get the feedback. The CVB doesn't necessarily get the feedback. So what are the attendees saying? Did they like the destination? Did they like the hotel, the accommodations? What about the flow of the convention? Did it work well? Did they have enough restaurant? Whatever they're, talking about, make sure you log that stuff down and share it with your CVB partner, because it's important that they know moving, maybe this group is going to book next year as well, right? It's important that they know, what the feedback is and whatever. Share this stuff at the, there's when there's a citywide convention going on in a destination, there's a pre-con and a post-con. Before the conference happens, that's a pre-meeting, meeting before the conference happens. And then after it happens, they have a post-con. So make sure you are included in all those other meetings that they'll have regarding that particular group, because it's important that you go and that you share information with the group, with your partners, with other hotel partners, as well as with your CVB partners. Because like I said, you want to make sure things improve for the next time. There's always something that's going to go wrong, right? So it's important that we listen to what our clients are saying, and then we let, the people, the CVB people, our partners, our DMO people, or whatever. It's important that we let them know what, the feedback was. Okay. That's very important. Number 9, community engagement. Engage with the local community and support CVB initiatives that promote the destination. Always, that's a good thing, because if they're promoting the destination, that's promoting you as well. This can include participating in community events. They always have some kind of events going on, right, that you should go to. Include participating in community events, I just said that, supporting local charities, and contributing to the overall tourism ecosystem. Yeah, you always want to make sure that you get involved in whatever they're involved in, you need to be involved in. Just follow their lead, ride off their coattails or whatever. Make sure you're involved, because they will point you in the right direction, or they'll let you tag along with them for the most part. But you have to, show some interest, show some initiative, be aggressive if you have to. Say, hey, I understand you're having this. I want to be a part of that as well. You're a member of the CVB, so you might as well. So what are they going to say? No, we're not going to. You're not allowed to do this. No. So be involved. Whatever community initiative your local CVB or DMO is involved in, make sure you're involved in that too, because that goes a long way. And number 10, see, I only got like 4 today, right? Cross promotions. Explore opportunities for cross promotions with local attractions, restaurants, and businesses that are also promoted by the CVB. Collaborative packages or promotions can enhance the overall visitor experience. Yeah, so make sure if there's opportunities to cross promote your hotel with, the local restaurants, maybe they have, restaurant week, you know what I mean? And, your hotel, you want your hotel to be your hotel's restaurant to be showcased in restaurant week, because you have this great artichoke dip that you want to share with the world, right? Whatever the heck it is, you can make sure you do that, right? So when they have, because a lot of CVBs or a lot of DMOs will promote your restaurant it's called Restaurant Week, right? I know here in LA they do that, and some other, I think Ontario does it as well. where they promote some of the local dining, establishments, and hotel restaurants can be included in that as well. That's kind of cross promotion. Or what about cross promotion with, like, if there's an amusement park in the area? So my last hotel, I was lucky enough to be at the Sheraton Universal, which is right next to Universal Studios. So what kind of cross promotion opportunities did we have, right? I mean, you had one theme park and two hotels. You had the Hilton and the Sheraton right next to each other, right? So we got involved in a lot of those different kind of, things that really didn't cost us a lot of money, because we were sharing the cost with not just, we weren't taking the brunt of it. Universal Studios had a part of it, the Sheraton, as well as the Hilton. And I think the CVB even had a portion of it as well. So they're promoting all of us as, cross promotion for our area, right? So we're not downtown, we're in the valley, but it's an important area because it has Universal Studios and it has two major hotels. One, I think both of them are about 500 rooms, right? So that's 1,000 rooms right there. So that can be like a self-contained conference convention. It's a shame that we didn't do more of those, right? That's one thing that I kind of wanted to get, pulled to that area, was like where you would have, a group that's big enough to be housed at those two hotels. And then you would have the component of Universal Studios for the entertainment part, right? Or City Walk, right? So they would, have meetings during the day and maybe attend City Walk, have dinner at City Walk at night, or one day would be devoted to Universal Studios. I mean, that was my goal or dream, to have groups that would use both hotels. But you know what? Some people have a lack of vision, okay? And anyway, I don't want to get back into that. I don't want to talk about that. But that's one of the things that I wish, I guess, I could have done more of. I was a little longer, where you can bring two hotels together and and kind of go after groups that that can utilize both hotels instead of using the convention center somewhere else. Because my thing was, I didn't want to lose the business. Okay, so long as it stayed in LA, I guess that's all that really mattered. But of course, you want it at your hotel in your area, right? So it'd have been great, like groups that needed 1,000 rooms on peak night. Well, I only had 500, but the Hilton had another 500, right? That would be great, and they're right next to each other. So anyway, so if you have hotel partners or hotel competition that's next to you, why not try to collaborate with them? Because it's all about that cross promotion. It's all about collaboration. Throw in community engagement, throw in all those kind of things, and it's better to keep the business, even if you're not getting 100% of it, you're keeping it in your area. And that was my main goal. Keep it in the area, because even if they didn't choose us and they chose the Hilton across the street, that's fine, because what happens to the business that the Hilton is turning away? Well, we can get that business too, right? Couldn't we get that? If they're going to be in the area, right? Why wouldn't they just come to Sheraton? So it didn't matter who sold out, because we were still going to get the residual effects from that. So, but a lot of people don't even think about that. They just like, well, if I didn't get it, then the heck with everything else. No, it's all about being collaborative and just communicating and knowing exactly what they're going after, what you're going after, what you get, what you don't get, and let people know. You know what I mean? It could be friendly competition, because at the end of the day, everybody's trying to make their numbers, right? If you work together, be collaborative, you probably can make your numbers tenfold. But a lot of people, like I said, we forget about that. And at the end of the day, use your CVB. So it all comes back to that, okay? Utilize your CVB or your DMO, and communicate with them every step of the way if you can. By effectively utilizing the resources and expertise of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, a hotel sales department can tap into a broader network of potential guests and group bookings. Hello. This partnership can help drive business growth and elevate the hotel's reputation within the local hospitality industry. And that's what you want as well, right? If you play the games or play along with a lot of the initiatives that the CVB puts out, you will be tops on their list. But if you just try to fight against the CVB, or the CVB is not doing anything for me, just try to fight against them and see what you get. you get nothing. Okay, they will like, no, if you're not playing with us, then we don't want to play with you. We'll take our ball and go somewhere else. So it's better that we, utilize the resources they have, because they have more resources than we do. Okay? We think as hotel people, oh, we got the resources, we got the power, we got this. No, we don't. So utilize them the best way you can, for potential guests and potential group bookings. Utilize them as much as you can. So that's my take on that. I thank you guys so much for being involved with that. I got another one coming up. It has nothing to do with CVBs this time, but it has to do with, and I think I may do this tomorrow. In fact, do I have one more thing to go? No, that's it. So this is, in closing, this is the Bellamar, but and this is their lobby area. Bellamar is in Manhattan Beach, just in case you did not hear me say that earlier. But my next I guess conversation I'm going to have, or topic that I'm going to have, has to do with, you book a meeting. Say you book something with, and you establish a relationship with this convention service person. Okay, so you sign the contract and it's been turned over to convention services. You've detailed out your meeting, the food, everything, all the menus, everything. You've already detailed how I want this set up, the meeting set up, and registration table. And then comes almost the day of your event, and the person that you had set everything up with is no longer there. What do you do? What do you do if it's like the 9th hour and you find out that your contact person that you had booked everything with, that you had, spend hours upon hours communicating with, collaborating with, and then you find out they're not there anymore? I mean, it happens. That's the thing that happens within the industry, where you plan things, you book things, you sign contracts, you sign agreements, and then when it comes to you being there, when your group is about to check in, you find out that your contact is no longer there. So how would you handle that? Well, I got something for you tomorrow. So I'm going to talk about that. No, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is on air with Russell of Hotel. So on Wednesday, I'm going to talk about that. Okay. So it's going to be just a conversation about what happens. What do you do when that convention service person that you've been dealing with for the last 90 days is no longer there when when your group is about to check in? So that can be devastating, right? So Robin Coleman, I see Robin Coleman. Hey, rock star. Russell, let's build. Oh yeah, that's what we do, girl. Let me put your comment on there. Thank you so much, Robin. Appreciate you. She's with the Carver Group. She's all about, housekeeping and kicking ass and taking names. Okay, that's all I see, is kicking ass and taking names. But no, she's definitely a rock star when it comes to just building that enthusiasm, being excited about, employees, specifically housekeeping employees and things like that. So if you don't follow Miss Robin Coleman, make sure you follow her here on LinkedIn. I mean, she has a lot of energy, a lot of things to bring to the table, right? As far as, how to communicate better with your people, how to, what am I trying to say? Oh my God, how to praise them, how to thank them, how to appreciate them. I mean, all those things. I mean, I know I had a brain fart, but yeah, all those things. She is all about that. So make sure that you follow her on that. And we had a conversation, I don't know, about a month, maybe a month and a half ago. So go back on LinkedIn or on YouTube to my channel and make sure you check it out. Check out the interview. No, I'm sorry, not an interview. Check out the conversation her and I had. And we talked about heart of the house, front of the house, back of the house. We talked about a lot of those things that people on the outside don't know what it is, right? Sometimes people within hotels don't even know what is the heart of the house. A lot of people don't know. But the way she explained it was fire, okay? So make sure you check that out. So anyway, I think that's it. I know I got one more thing. You know what? I was looking at my schedule of travel, and it's starting to come to a head. I didn't realize that next week I'm going to be out of town, right? I'm doing Destination East next week, and then small and boutique meetings in November, and then and then I have another client that has a retreat in November, right? So I have two programs in November, one this month, and then I just got notification for IPEC in January, right? So that'll start off. That normally starts off my new year, right? Because IPEC stands for Independent Planner. Independent Planner. What does it stand for? Independent Planner Conference. I don't. What's the E stand for? Independent Planner Educational Conference. Darn. Independent Planner Educational Conference, IPEC. You know, we throw these darn acronyms out there, and sometimes I even forget. Okay, so Robin is asking me, has the actor strike affected travel in California? I don't know. I would say, well, the attractions are still open. So if people were coming to California, they were coming for, Universal Studios was still open. Disneyland and all the major theme parks were still open. Now, if you were coming to maybe, walk on a scene and see, a live filming or taping, that, yeah, maybe something like that. Because in LA, when not excluding the strike, things like that, I think they have like 100 and something days that they're filming. Somewhere in LA, they're always filming something. It's probably more than that, but it's probably different, like 100 something locations are going on any given day, meaning people are filming something in like 100 locations throughout LA County, right? So if people were looking for that, yeah, I would say it may have affected. But as far as travel coming into LA, I don't believe so. I would think maybe the hotel employee strike would probably affect people more than the entertainment strike, because people got wind that, okay, we may go to a hotel and we may get, have some demonstrations going on and things like that, which could have been the case, right? But it's not getting a lot of, and I mentioned this last week, I'm glad you brought this up, Robin. It's not getting a lot of publicity like it was before. The strike that the hotel employees were on, or are still on, it's not getting enough publicity like it was before. It was, when it first started, of course, things were going, oh my God, this is going on. But then it kind of died down. And I kept mentioning that it was still going on. And to my knowledge, it's still going on. I'll have to check just to make sure, and I'll mention it, and I'll make sure I bring it up again tomorrow. But to my knowledge, it still is, okay? But yeah, so no, I don't think it stopped the travel. I think people were still coming to LA anyway, because there's a lot going on in LA, right? So even if, they're not filming movies, the game shows and all that stuff, I believe, are still going on. Yeah, and then like I said, the theme parks are still going on. And so you still have Universal Studios is still open. And, you have Magic Mountain or Six Flags Magic Mountain. You have Disneyland. You have Knott's Berry Farm. You had Legoland. You have all those things, and the beach is still there, right? The beach is still there. The mountains are still there. So Griffith Park is still there. So Hollywood Boulevard is still there. Beverly Hills, downtown LA. All those different areas that people kind of congregate anyway. Venice Beach, all of them. Those are still there. So I would say no. I would have to say no. But anyway. But thank you. That was a good question. No, I appreciate that. Let me just make sure. Did I put that one up there? Yeah, I did put that one up there. So, but so yeah, so I was getting back to my travel. Yeah, I didn't realize that I had, a trip next week. I mean, I knew it was coming up, but I was like, dang, I didn't realize it was next week. So it's like next Tuesday. So I'll be gone, right? I'll tell you later where I'm going. So, but should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. And definitely looking forward to the small and boutique meetings in Tucson. So that's going to be in November. And then, like I said, I have to meet with a client, or I have to attend at least one day at my client's retreat. And that's going to be something. I'll have to tell you about that one later. But that's in November as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, and I'm definitely looking forward to IPEC in January. It's going to be in North Carolina. I've flown into North Carolina, like Raleigh, but I have never attended a meeting. Never checked out hotels there. So I'm definitely going to do that. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be lit. It's going to be fire. So IPEC, I just got the notification today, so I have to fill that out in a couple of minutes. So make sure I get, first on the list. So anyway, that is it. I know I rambled a little bit, but hey, hopefully I gave you some good information. But yeah, so make sure you guys know what your CVB is there for. Make sure you hotel people, make sure if we're not utilizing them to the fullest, we should be. Pick up the phone right now and call them and say, hey, come on over for lunch. Invite them over. Whoever your contact person is, invite them over for lunch and let's say, hey, what are you guys working on? How can I help? Or, they may ask in turn, say, well, how can we help you? You know what I mean? So, because it's a give and take, it's a two-way street, it's a partnership. So there you go. So it's all about being collaborative. So make sure if you don't have a great relationship with someone at your local CVB or DMO, then you need to. Okay, that's just it. There's no other way around it. Why are people talking about this stuff? I don't know, but that's what I'm here to do, right? So I'm not throwing this on any CVB person or hotel person. I'm saying this is what's going on, and this is what I think should be happening. Okay. So there you go. So this is coming from Russell of Hotels. It's not coming from any CVB, but I just know the power and of the CVB and how you should utilize them as a hotel person. Now, it took me a while to figure out even what they did, right? And that's my own, naivety, I guess. But, or maybe not, trying to educate myself. It took me probably 3 hotels as a director of sales and marketing to figure out like, hey, we need them. I should be partnering with them. Okay, well, we should be partnering with them. So, it gives your hotel a huge disservice when you don't. Okay, providing that you have a good CVB. Not all CVBs work together. Not all CVBs are made the same way. Okay, but you still have to seek them out if you don't know who they are, and just communicate with them. Like I said, invite them over. Let's go to lunch. Whatever. And start a relationship from there. There you go. That's it. You guys have a great day. And once again, we'll do tomorrow is On Air with Russell of Hotels, comes on at 1 o'clock. And I'm probably going to talk about, that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the what happens when, the convention services person that you signed everything with or the contract got turned over and you planned all these things out and he or she is no longer there when you're a week out and your meeting's about to start and you don't know who your new contact is. You've just been told that this person is no longer there. What do you do? How do you handle that situation? Well, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, right? That's going to be my topic of conversation tomorrow. On Air with Russell of Hotels, same platform, LinkedIn and YouTube, 1 o'clock tomorrow. That's 1 o'clock PST. That means here in Los Angeles, okay? That's 4 o'clock on the East Coast, all right? So that's it. You guys have a great day. Thank you again. And as always,